At the feet of Fabian Ruiz, the two-goal hero from the semi-final, to ensure that he couldn't get on that. Chelsea have now faced teams from 17 countries this season. A campaign that started against Manchester City back on August the 18th. They only played more games in the 2012-2013 season when they played 69 games in total. But a club record 45 players used this campaign for Enzo Maresca. Vitinha. Wide to Kvaratskhelia down the left side. He's running at Gusto. Kvaratskhelia cutting inside and Sanchez gets a touch. Scooped away by Colwill.
Acknowledging both players, the goalkeeper with that touch into space, and Colwill, he's just trying to clear his lines. Kvaratskhelia, we've seen from the moment that he's come over from Napoli, he wants to get to the end line variation of service, but once he does that step over, he also wants it on that cultured right foot, and he wants to pick out that far post side net, and we've seen him do so with devastating effect. 21 shots heading into this match, had that goal against Seattle, 2 assists as well, but very limited in that first half.
Lovely play from Cole Palmer down the right side. Mendes gets back to defend. Reece James. Across the back from Chalobah. Colwill out towards Cucurella. And the flag is up for offside.
So Luke, we talked about the dominance, and we talked about Chelsea out PSG-ing what PSG has done so well. 3-0 lead at halftime. Chelsea completed just 126 passes in that first half. Possession with purpose, and then recognizing up and over the top there's gaps and spaces in this back four where Chelsea's athleticism can take advantage.
Free kick given here by the referee. João Pedro will take his time to get back to his feet. He said after the Fluminense game, when he was asked about not celebrating against his former team, he said, "When I was young, I had nothing. They gave everything to me." He moved to Rio at the age of 10 with his mother to join the Fluminense youth setup. Scored twice against them in the Club World Cup semi-final. James with this quickly taken ball down the right side. Palmer plays it in towards the back post, and that will just drop out of play. Chelsea scoring with all 3 of their shots on target. João Neves almost cut out there by Cole Palmer.
And look, there's just the commitment. I mean, you have to have such a monster mentality. Obviously, you have to be connected and you have to be fit, and your fitness level's outrageous. But at this stage of the season, to have the psychological commitment as a unit to believe in the shape, believe in the press, and stifle everything that we've seen PSG do so well throughout the course of this tournament. It's been exceptional from Chelsea.
Vitinha. Gets the ball back from Fabian Ruiz. Positive play here from Vitinha. Looking for Dembele. Couldn't find him as Cucurella covered. Kvaratskhelia on the far side. The Georgian international back towards Mendes. Hakimi is wide on the right in space, and Vitinha will find him. PSG going towards their supporters in this second half of the Club World Cup final. Mendes, Fabian Ruiz.
Very compact, low block. João Pedro splitting both Enzo and Cole Palmer at times.
Marquinhos down the right side. Now it's Hakimi up against Pedro Neto, who got a yellow card in the first half. One of 3 Chelsea players in the book. Neto towards Caicedo. He also got a yellow. And Enzo Fernandez turning, looking to add a club world crown to the world title he won with his country Argentina in Qatar. Doué down the right side, driven into the box, and it falls towards Dembele.
defensive saves in the first 45 minutes, and that is a huge one down to his right-hand side. When he's been called upon, he's been tested. He has passed with flying colors. All the talk heading into this tournament was, did Chelsea need a new goalkeeper? And that reaction save is fantastic to his right-hand side. In a similar fashion of what we saw to his right and his left in that first half.
Robert Sanchez only played once during Chelsea's run to the Conference League title. Didn't play in the final. 10 clean sheets in 32 Premier League games this season. Here's Cole Palmer down the right up against Mendes. Pedro, Fernandez and Neto all making their way towards the edge of the box. Beraldo and Fabian Ruiz defending. Joao Pedro looking to get out of a tight spot. The referee allows play to continue. Kvaratskhelia brings it clear. Across the back for Marquinhos. Doué. Now Beraldo, 21-year-old Brazilian defender. Vitinha gliding through the midfield finds Ruiz. Now Dembele trying to get on the outside of Chalobah, all the way across goal. Cucurella could deal with it. Pushing it forward towards Enzo Fernandez. In that battle there with Marquinhos. João Neves with a challenge. Chelsea want the free kick, and once again, the referee allows play to continue. Enzo Maresca is right down towards the fourth official, as Kvaratskhelia has it here. Turning against Gusto, out for a corner on the far side. And Enzo Maresca still furious in the face of the fourth official.
He's got to be really careful right now. He's demonstrative. He's swinging his arms around in the face of the fourth official. Fourth official had walked over to try to calm him down, had a couple more verbal volleys for him. Enzo gets up, and probably a byproduct of the frustration of the yellow card shown in the first half.
Mendes swings the cross in. Reece James takes a swing to get it away on the far side.
It's a better start. Second half, better start. Now it's game management. Understanding that Chelsea's up 3-0. They're going to play a lower block. They're not necessarily going to press in that same manner.
Doué with space and strikes for goal.
No immediate pressure. Reece James steps up at the last second and a good distance wide of that right post. He's trying to manufacture that moment of something special, and we've seen that brilliance throughout this tournament from Desiree Doué.
João Pedro chasing here, and he gets to the ball first up against Beraldo. João Pedro towards the box, he goes down, he wants the penalty, and the referee close by had a good look at it and waved it away immediately. Not interested at all. Vitinha. Hakimi. Levi Caldwell said ahead of this one, we can't afford to let it get into a basketball match, one end to the other.
Well, it's a significant mismatch in terms of the player profile and the athleticism for Joao Pedro going up with the ball into space. We've got some afters really starting to kick off.
Cole Palmer skips past the challenge of Fabian Ruiz on the far side. Gusto back towards Joao Pedro. Chalobah forward for Caicedo. The Ecuadorian midfielder. Quick exchange of passes with James and then back towards Colwell.
Yeah,
Chelsea look to keep possession.
Look, the adjustment is effectively 3 in the back for Luis Enrique, and allowing Hakimi to go higher and allowing Doué to roll a little bit more central to his left-hand side. That is not going to benefit Lucas Beraldo in his 1v1 battles with Joao Pedro. This is going to be moments where they miss Pacho in this starting 11.
Caicedo across the back. They're getting the olays now here from the Chelsea fans in the stands. And Fernandez caught by Vitinha. I think he will escape a yellow card here, Vitinha.
So in the last couple of seasons for Chelsea, and coming off that backside of the 2021 Champions League final win, we've seen a turnover of ownership We've seen turnovers of multiple managers as well as transfer spins that have been extraordinary. But now it's about the celebratory season, not only of Enzo Maresca with the Conference League trophy, but also qualifications for Champions League and the preparation of what this tournament could mean for the 2025-2026 season.
Saturday, July 19th, DAZN brings you another blockbuster boxing fight. Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois facing off again for the undisputed heavyweight title in London. You can buy now on DAZN.com. Change is coming for Luis Enrique and PSG. It looks like it will be Bradley Barcola coming in. Luis Enrique waits until a couple of minutes before the hour mark here to try and influence this one from the bench. All the way over towards Kvaratskhelia. And here comes the change. And it will be Kvaratskhelia who makes way. He started every game of the tournament, but his Club World Cup is over here, replaced by Barcola.
I was sent here to be a good man.
I will destroy him.
Good luck with that. Rated PG-13, now playing in theaters everywhere.
Mendes with the ball inside here for Fabian Ruiz. Vitinha. Doué, was he fouled there by Caicedo? No. Referee once again close by. A judge that Caicedo got the ball. Here it's played forward. It's Enzo Fernandez who could be in. He couldn't find the ball across to Neto, who's in space on the left.
He loves those runs, especially if Joao Pedro is going to make that initial check. Enzo is going to look to pop out of that midfield and see if he can stretch this back line.
Lovely flick there from Neves into the path of Vitinha. The way opens up for Vitinha! PSG want the corner, and they get it from the referee.
Luke, keep an eye on Enzo Fernandez. He's gone down after that previous run. Vitinha strikes through the ball, lands on his strike foot. Another fantastic fingertip touch from Robert Sanchez. Not sure if it's inside or outside the post, but you can see Enzo where he's reached in the backside of that left hammy. As he had stretched and tried to play that ball back across his body, he popped back up, reached for it, and immediately the medical staff from Chelsea tried to make sure that the substitutes were ready and available to replace him if needed.
In towards Doué on the edge of the area. He'll clip this cross in towards the back post. Another corner on the near side. Marquinhos was closest to getting on the end of that one.
An important touch once again from Joao Pedro, and it looks like Andre Santos is going to replace Enzo. They were trying to get that change in before that last service coming inside the box.
Did your streaming expire when you least expected? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 6% cash back on online purchases for the first year from account opening. What would you like the power to do?
So it's the 21-year-old Brazilian, Andre Santos, who will come in to replace Enzo Fernandez.
It's so important, the heart and soul of this midfield alongside Moises Caicedo. Those two have been so good, Luke. We no longer hear about the acquisition cost and the transfer fee of them coming over to Chelsea.
Vitinha with the right foot outswinger. In towards the front post. Nuno Mendes picks it up. Hakimi in space down the right side. Back out for Vitinha. And that one is swung deep. Far too deep from Vitinha. And a goal kick coming here for Chelsea. The first meeting between these teams since PSG won on aggregate by 4-2 in the Champions League round of 16 in 2015-2016. Andre Santos coming in for a fourth appearance of the tournament. Came on late against Fluminense, played 90 minutes against Palmeiras in the quarter-final on his first Chelsea start. Originally arriving from Vasco da Gama in January of 2023, but spent the season on loan at Strasbourg.
And Luke, that start against Palmeiras was when Reece James broke down in the warm-up, brought Malo Gusto in, who was starting as a defensive midfielder, rolled him out to right back. And those adjustments paying dividends not only in that match, but here in the final. I think today will, at the end of the 90 minutes, be a clear indication of how Enzo Maresca wants to play going forward.
Palmer against Ruiz down the right side. Support from João Pedro, but Palmer does so well. Just didn't quite work in the end, but João Pedro able to keep possession. Offside. And Fabian Ruiz in with a little shove on the back of Cole Palmer there.
He's trying to manufacture something, and PSG has to figure out in that gray area, how do they manipulate not only the Chelsea players, but manipulate the referee as well. Because right now, 11 versus 11 with the ball at their feet, it just has not worked out for PSG. Now we get to understand what the temperament of this group of players of Chelsea starts to look like. Again, the starting 11 in the range of 22 to 27 years of age.
Two youngest squads in the tournament.
And I guess the byproduct of that is how beneficial has the experience in Conference League been against teams that they're not necessarily supposed to beat versus teams that they're going to carry a majority of the possessions and the shot generation.
Dembele. Now Hakimi. This is Doué. Picked up by Neto deep in his own half for Chelsea. Cucurella down, fouled by Hakimi. And a free kick coming for Chelsea. They'll take their time here with this one. Robert Sanchez has made 5 saves today. Donnarumma yet to have to make a save. Colwell's ball forward. Brought down by Marquinhos. Gusto. Chalobah wide to the right for Palmer. Gusto has continued the run forward, but it comes back inside for Moises Caicedo. Andre Santos with the ball forward down the right. Gusto looking to pull the ball back into the box, couldn't find João Pedro. Gusto. Now Neto. Back for Cole Palmer, who is on a hat-trick here. Gusto from distance.
Luke, the ball decision, making the pace off the ball, playing for wide space, using the width, the rotations of the second runs, the wide transition moments, dominance and press. It's been monsters of mentality for Chelsea. And in any other game that's involving PSG, those are the descriptions we're probably using about Luis Enrique's side.
The game against Real Madrid was the 16th time PSG have scored 4 or more goals in the calendar year of 2025. Doué is fouled.
Or Pedro Neto sitting on that yellow card in the 35th minute. Now João Pedro down by the midfield line, stretching out.
Probably wouldn't have expected him to play the full game here today. We mentioned the fact that João Pedro came off in the last round in the semi-final, making his first start for Chelsea, having come off his vacation to join his new club and get the start. So probably Delap, you would think, would be the player to come in if João Pedro can't continue.
Well, I think there's even a bigger conversation, because that is a very lenient referee's decision, because in any other moment, Pedro Neto probably seeing a second yellow. But now, is it about like for like, or is there a potential for a change of system for Enzo Maresca?
Vitinha with the free kick, and Sanchez comes and claims it really well. Excellent goalkeeping there from Robert Sanchez, who joined from Brighton in August of 2023. 3 caps for Spain for the keeper, who has come up with some big saves today.
he's got it in him, Joao Pedro. Even in a moment where he fouls Fabian Ruiz goes and reaches for a hand up, and Joao Pedro just walks away. Love his mentality.
What a start to Joao Pedro's career with Chelsea. The former Brighton man. On his first start, scored twice. On his second start, gets another goal. It was a 3-0 goal after Cole Palmer had scored twice for Chelsea. They were 3 up by half-time. And it's Liam Delap coming in. Another addition coming in from Ipswich Town for just over the equivalent of around $40 million. And here he is straight into the action. Liam Delap racing against Beraldo. It's Delap from distance. It's a very good save from Donnarumma to keep out what would have been goal number 4 for Chelsea.
It was an unnecessary yellow card that found him in a suspended situation that opens a door for Joao Pedro. And what an impact. Immediately trying to pick out that upper left-hand side from Donnarumma. Full stretch, losing every inch of that 6'6" frame. Luke, 2 weeks ago, I would have said that Liam Delap was going to be the starting number 9 for Chelsea Football Club. And specific to taking advantage of Nicholas Jackson in that red card against Flamengo. But now, because of that suspension for Liam Delap, all of a sudden, Joao Pedro looks somewhat untouchable as the number 9 for Chelsea going forward. He's got as much combativeness in him as Joao Pedro does, that's for sure.
A word from referee Ali Reza Fagani for Liam Delap. Changes being ready on the PSG bench. Donnarumma comes to try and get there, but comes all the way out towards James. Palmer took a swing. Gonzalo Ramos, one of the players that will be coming in, and it looks like the other one is going to be Seni Mayulu. Gonzalo Ramos scored late, having come off the bench against Real Madrid. Now it's Reece James that is down. James in the starting lineup today, 25-year-old who has 19 caps for England, a graduate of the Chelsea youth system, making his 4th start of the tournament as we hit the cooling break here with a little over 20 minutes remaining of the Club World Cup final, and Chelsea still in control.
Well, really interesting to watch Enzo Maresca's coaching staff walk around him, have conversations, what would be the assumption of the replacing Reece James. We know that they've got to protect him on his return from injury, but he has been fantastic in the 70 minutes played for Chelsea today.
Well, it's the final day of an incredible month here at the Club World Cup, but the soccer doesn't finish on DAZN. European pre-season matches are live this summer, including Barcelona's tour of the Far East, starting with a trip to Vissel Kobe on July 27th. You can also see pre-season matches on DAZN, including Chelsea, Liverpool, Juventus, and more, all live on DAZN. Luis Enrique has had so many accolades about what his side has been able to do this season. The first French club to do the treble, winning the league, the cup, the Champions League, the way they played, the way they destroyed Real Madrid in the semi-final. But today, all credit to Enzo Maresca for the way that he has set up this Chelsea team. Can Luis Enrique find a way to get his PSG side, the European champions, back into this one with 20 minutes remaining?
I think 2 things have been on show: the width and the rotation in the midfield, but also 2 teams that are committed to movement off the ball, and that's what's generated the best goal-scoring opportunities this afternoon. Chelsea clinical with their finishing, much to the frustration of their captain Marquinhos. And on the flip side, Robert Sanchez has stood on his head. He has had 4 phenomenal saves in moments where the trajectory of the game could have been drastically altered. This save right here. Donnarumma, full stretch. That ball, right arm up and over. Window washer. Great push as Liam Delap wants to come back in and make this immediate impact to see if he can put this game to bed.
It's Chelsea's 30th major final since 1997. They've won 18 of their previous 29.
Yeah, a different group, a different manager, and I think what Enzo Maresca, Todd Boehly, everybody involved at Chelsea Football Club are thinking is that this is an opportunity for a new generation of special players wearing that Chelsea jersey. And the start was not only lifting a Conference League title with that 4-1 win over Real Betis, but qualifying for the Champions League with that 4th place finish in the Premier League.
So a triple change with Zaire Emery also coming on alongside Mayoulou and Ramos. Enzo Maresca looking to end his first year as the Chelsea boss, having been appointed June 2024 by winning a Club World Cup, the 7th Italian to manage Chelsea, following in some footsteps of huge names like Vialli, Ranieri, Ancelotti, Conte, Sarri and Di Matteo. And there are 17 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here at MetLife Stadium.
Gonzalo Ramos has gone centrally. Ousmane Dembélé has gone to this right-hand side. Zaire Emery sits in that pocket. So fresh legs in the central part of the midfield, as well as a different look up top, more direct play into the body of Gonzalo Ramos.
Fabian Ruiz leaves with 3 goals in the tournament. Achraf Hakimi also out. And Desiree Doué, who had a goal, started all 7 games, finds his Club World Cup ending inside the final 20.
Yeah, and effectively man-for-man in the back with this flat 3. PSG throwing numbers, crowding the midfield, attacking phase of play, looking to get something in this game to find momentum. But the risk versus reward is that athletically, Chelsea's going to cause a lot of problems in transition moments.
Mayoulou with Caicedo all over him there is able to win the free kick, which PSG were looking to take quickly, but the referee will bring this one back.
And we watched the conversation of Reece James with his manager after stretching out right before the cooling break started. He's got to know his body, but he also has to have the faith of the manager that when he tells them he's capable of going, they can believe it.
Barklow's ball forward, Mayoulou pulls it back. Ramos almost able to get on the end of it. Reece James is there, goes down. The referee allowing play to continue. And now push forward. Emery plays it back towards the 6-yard box. João Neves ball back in. Cucurella first to it, goes down, wins the free kick. João Neves trying to pull Cucurella back to his feet.
Cucurella knows what he's doing, and in a moment that they're up 3-0, there's 15 minutes remaining. He's just going to kill some seconds off the clock. Caicedo's going to come over and have the conversation with João Neves. I don't see a world in which Reece James can continue. He looks heavy, he looks legged, and right now he's bent over just at the top of his penalty area. And I would imagine Enzo Maresca has to make this change now. There he's gone to ground. Take another look as the ball coming across the body, and there's the reach. Landing gear comes up. Cucurella, he feels the challenge. And you can see what Luis Enrique thinks.
The assistant referee had his flag up instantly and was maybe 10 yards or so away from making that call. Chelsea, 15 minutes plus stoppage time away from a Club World Cup title as Dewsbury Hall will be coming in.
Yeah, it looks like Nkunku off his back shoulder as well, getting set to come in. The player who was dropped for the inclusion of Reece James into this starting 11. He's such a great player, and he's so important to what Chelsea do. And I think it'll be really interesting to see the evolution of his position, whether it's at right back, out right back, or playing more as a defensive midfielder in that three with Caicedo and Enzo. Wherever you put him, he just feels like he's the heart and soul of Chelsea Football Club.
And as the changes happen, Cole Palmer called across by Enzo Maresco for a few words about how Chelsea will line up now as Neto and James leave and Nkunku and Dewsbury Hall come in.
I'm still waiting for confirmation as Dewsbury Hall and Nkunku step on the field. Last second, getting a few words in with Enzo Maresca. Now system changes. It's different than how they started for obvious reasons. But so was that three-prong change from PSG, the commitment to effectively 6 players in the attacking phase of play with Vitinha protecting that back three. So the hunt for goals versus the hunt for transition goals to kill this game and get the 4th for Chelsea.
Pedro Neto leaves the game, his 51st appearance in all competitions this season. Right now, the golden boot is going to Gonzalo Garcia of Real Madrid. He has 4 goals, but he also has an assist, and that is why he would win the tiebreak with other players that have 4 goals. Neto, who just left the game, was on 3. Cole Palmer has 3 goals. He also has 2 assists. So if Palmer was to score here in the final minutes of this one, he would also get the golden boot.
Again, a penny for the thoughts of Xabi Alonso in Real Madrid. And the introduction of Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius on that left, and pushing Gonzalo Garcia over to that right-hand side. After that 4-0 loss, you just wonder from a regretful standpoint if he would have done it different given the opportunity again.
Barcola, the ball forward here for Vitinha. Up against Cole Palmer. Palmer with a foot in. Well one back. Nuno Mendes in with the challenge. Liam Delap was in there as well. Andre Santos gives away the free kick.
Luke, at the end of the day, we'll be celebrating Cole Palmer's 2 goals as phenomenal finishes and superstar celebrity with what he's capable of doing on the ball, but his work rate off the ball defensively has been outstanding this afternoon.
Barcola against Gusto. Back for Vitinha. Now it's Marquinhos with a little bit of space here. Rolls it out to the right side for Zaire Emery. Dembele all the way across towards Nuno Mendes. João Neves picks it up on the far side. Achraf Hakimi leaving the game. He'd played all but 20 minutes of this tournament. And as we were discussing before the game about the standouts for PSG beyond the goal scorers, we were talking about Vitinha and his influence. Achraf Hakimi, 2 goals and 2 assists in the tournament. Pretty nullified today by this Chelsea team. This ball played over the top. Zaire Emery can't get there as Sanchez can play.
Luke, I said it in the first half. Chelsea has out PSG'd at their own game. And by the way, every ball should be played in the shadows to allow Liam Delap to just chase.
Delap in round the back for Chelsea. It's Liam Delap, and a touch from Donnarumma takes it behind for a Chelsea corner. It's the second good chance that Delap has had since coming off the bench.
Yeah, and more specific to the second 45 minutes, we're seeing how much Donnarumma misses Pacho, the 23-year-old, in that 2-game suspension following his challenge on Goretzka in the dying moments of that Bayern Munich match. Beraldo just doesn't have the player profile to be running down into the channels against either João Pedro or Liam Delap. If it's a foot race, he's losing it every single time.
Santos with the ball forward. Little flick there from Gusto. Out of play for a Chelsea throw in the corner on the far side. Cole Palmer. Vitinha couldn't quite get a foot in as Cucurella helps it out to Levi Colwill. Colwill's ball over the top, headed away by Marquinhos. Zaire Emery comes away. Colwill tugs at the jersey, and that will be a yellow. Zaire Emery pushing Colwill over. It's boiling over here a little bit in the closing moments.
Yeah, control and temperament right now for Chelsea. Less than 10 minutes remaining. You're up 3-0. No need to find yourself in a situation where the referee is allowed to show a red card.
He's gone quickly here. Barcola across to the left side, up against Gusto. Barcola still going, but he couldn't get the power or the direction to beat Sanchez. Dewsbury Hall looking down the left side. Cole Palmer couldn't keep it in play. Palmer has scored 3 hat-tricks for Chelsea, including one this season when he got 4 against Brighton in September. Scored twice here in the opening half an hour of this Club World Cup final. Gusto. Santos linking up with Nkunku on the far side, and Mendes unhappy with the call to give the free kick here to Chelsea, and you just get the sense that this might not be PSG's day right now. They're running out of time, the frustration boiling over a little bit as well.
Luke, they lost 1-0 against Botafogo with Igor Jesus' goal, the goal that subsequently got his move to Nottingham Forest following the end of their tournament. But that was different. It was 5 or 6 players rotated on the afternoon from Luis Enrique, and they dominated every statistic available. They just couldn't hit the back of the net. Today, they've just been outplayed on both sides of the ball. In a match in which we weren't sure which direction Enzo Maresca would choose to go. Try to mimic what we saw against Bayern Munich, or sit back and absorb like Atletico Madrid as well as Real Madrid. They not only matched what Vincent Kompany and Bayern Munich did well, that's a heavy swing for the Cucurella through the backside. But they've done it better. They have done it better.
Vitinha. Now Dembele.
84th minute, Cucurella still as antagonistic as ever on this left-hand side.
Mendes down the left side towards Barcola, who is up against Gusto. Cucurella's gone down.
It was a slap from João Neves.
And João Neves gets a yellow.
And now João Neves has afforded VAR Bastian Dunkert the opportunity to take a look.
Cucurella's still down.
Yeah, it happened off the ball, and again, Cucurella, he's been having words, he's been throwing his hands around, and he just got stuck in on a really heavy challenge. But watch right there. It's a bump off the ball. It's a hair pull. And this could be escalated. And we'll see if this rises to the moment where VAR wants to allow the referee to have another look. Again, temperament and reaction.
Well, PSG got the job done against Bayern Munich, but they did have 2 players sent off, and the referee has been sent to the screen here. It could be a red. This yellow, I would think, about to be upgraded to a red card, and PSG having lost William Pacho and Lucas Hernandez in that quarter-final against Bayern, losing discipline late in the game. Could go down to 10 here in the final.
And listen, Cucurella is no saint in this moment. He draws the reaction by the bump off the ball for no reason, but it's the reaction that's going to go punished for João Neves.
Number 87 of Martin moved ahead and he committed violent conduct, so he received a red card.
João Neves sent off in the Club World Cup final, with his team trailing by 3-0 inside the final 5 minutes of play. And Chelsea, having won the Europa Conference League, are closing in on a Club World Cup title as Ramos closes down quickly there against Robert Sanchez. It was just 6 weeks ago that Luis Enrique and PSG were on the bus parade down the Champs-Élysées, having been crowned European champions, winning the Champions League for the first time. It looks to add a global crown to their European triumph. But on this day, in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It looks as if Paris Saint-Germain will fall short. Moises Caicedo has the foul given against him here. He's already on a yellow card.
Caicedo comes across, he's late. He puts his hand up. You can see that right arm. Immediately he knows he's late on the challenge. And again, going back to the bump off the ball, it's unnecessary from Cucurella. He's operating in that gray area. He gets away with it. He initiates the contact, but it's the reaction that gets caught from João Neves by pulling the hair of Cucurella. He goes down, and the intervention from VAR is immediate.
Vitinha stands over it. Marquinhos forward from the back. Beraldo in there as well. Inside the final 3 minutes, plus whatever time is added on. Vitinha goes short. Mendes on the edge of the box. It takes the deflection. And out of play off Gusto for a PSG corner on the far side. Vitinha wraps it in towards the front post. Gusto's header away. Palmer gives it straight back to Zaire Emery. Vitinha's ball in. And that one is just about to rush out of play by Andre Santos, who encourages the crowd to get behind this Chelsea team.
Well, for a team in this tournament that seemingly had conceded goals that were avoidable, or at least we felt they were avoidable, today they've been as close to perfect as possible on the defensive side of things.
Just the second time this season that Paris Saint-Germain have conceded 3 goals. A 3-goal margin would be their biggest defeat of the campaign. The last team to beat Paris Saint-Germain by 3 was Newcastle United in October of 2023. A 4-1 win for Newcastle in the Champions League. Vitinha. Barkla down the left. Up against Chalobah. Barkla's ball clipped into the middle. Came all the way to Ramos, and Cucurella is able to get it away. Ramos, head in hands.
Well, he felt like he was in the right place at the right time, but somehow that ball comes off him, falls to the left foot of Cucurella, and he just plays it out of pressure.
Deflects off Palmer. Cucurella heads away. Dewsbury Hall brings it down. Cole Palmer long downfield looking for Delap. Delap brings it down. Marquinhos wanted a free kick. Nothing given. Delap against Beraldo. And that's a free kick coming. And a yellow card, I think, coming for Ramos. No, the referee lets that one go, but it will be a free kick here for Chelsea.
Liam Delap initially slows himself down to allow Nkunku to get forward and potentially be a run inside the box. At that point, it's good defending from Lucas Beraldo. He gets the toe poke. Gonzalo Ramos on the back press commits the foul. Now for Chelsea, do they just take it to the corner and try to eat more time off this clock?
Five minutes of time to be added on. 5 minutes standing between Chelsea and a World Championship crown. Vitinha fouled by Nkunku. And Donnarumma racing to get this one going. Mendes down the line. Gusto sliding in. Barkala was there. Andre Santos back there. Chalobah clears it into touch. Every challenge being cheered now by the Chelsea fans in the stands. Across for Vitinha. Marquinhos. Ramos climbing, drops towards Barkla at the back post. And the flag is up for offside.
Oh, the defensive shape. Look at this line. Top of your penalty area. Hopeful ball pinged in as it comes back across. Barkala brings that ball down. Not sure which player was judged to be in an offside position by the AR on the near side. But defensively, this performance from this back four and these midfielders have been outstanding from the opening whistle. A frustrating end to a phenomenal year. And what a statement this is for Chelsea and Enzo Maresca.
Zaire Emery turned around there by Cole Palmer. This is Vitinha. Andre Santos carries it forward. Here's Delap. Vitinha is down. Delap out wide to Gusto on the right side. He comes all the way back towards Chalobah. 3 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Vitinha very slow to get back to his feet. Cole it away. All 3 goals scored in the first half for Chelsea. Cole Palmer in the 22nd and 30th minute. João Pedro assisted by Palmer in the 43rd. Zaire Emery. Cole Palmer back doing the defensive work. Having made a huge impact at the other end of the pitch today. Gusto climbs to head away. Caicedo with the captain's armband on. Forward it goes here for Nkunku.
Keep an eye on the bottom of your screen, Cole Palmer. He was on his horse there for a second.
Delap against Beraldo. As Liam Delap heads towards the corner here.
Oh,
That's a terrible challenge. The yellow card shown for Nuno Mendes.
but he's got to be careful because he might walk himself into another with the way that he's approaching the referee. And now Malo Gusto getting all the Chelsea supporters going. That is an exceptionally hard challenge from Nuno Mendes.
The Chelsea bench, all on the edge of the technical area, standing ready to invade the pitch. A matter of 60 seconds away from the final whistle. Andre Santos, the substitute, goes down as the referee allows PSG to bring this one forward. Vitinha looking long towards Barkala, and a free kick given here for Chelsea. 30 seconds remaining. 30 seconds standing between Enzo Maresca and Chelsea, and a second trophy in the last few weeks. A time for cool heads on the Chelsea side. Just moments away from the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup title. Moises Caicedo unable to get on the end of that one. Mayulu, Cucurella has it. Against all the odds, Chelsea find a way to beat a PSG team that looked unstoppable. Blue is the colour on club football's grandest stage. Chelsea are crowned world champions.
Nuno Mendes has to walk away. As the afters right now, suspensions and fines incoming if they don't watch the temperament that's needed right now.
Ugly scenes in a moment of celebration as Maresca leads Donnarumma away, trying to save the Italian keeper from further trouble.
So the reaction for PSG is also one of embarrassment. But for Enzo Maresca, the margin for error was almost zero. And was that Hakimi or Luis Enrique? Hakimi. That's not a good look from the manager, Luis Enrique. And one would expect a heavy, heavy suspension and fine for his reaction. And right now, PSG's just got to get off the field. What should have been a celebratory moment for Chelsea, marred by the reaction of PSG, as Enzo Maresca trying to get his group of players together. For Chelsea today, the margin for error was almost zero. They were aggressive, they were organized with their high press, and today, Luke, they were untouchable. Worthy of winners, this performance.
PSG were looking to end an incredible season with a triumph on the global stage, but the European champions fail in their bid to take the world title. Cole Palmer is the man of the match. It's Chelsea who will celebrate long into the night. Palmer finishes the tournament with 3 goals and 2 assists. On a day when Chelsea came out with 2 goals in the opening half an hour from Cole Palmer, 2 wonderful finishes, and Joao Pedro, in just his second start for the club since his move, added a 3rd goal, assisted by Palmer 2 minutes before half-time. It was 3-0 at the break, and that's how it stayed. And the message on the back of that jersey we just saw there, worn by the Chelsea players, is clear and simple. Chelsea, world champions.
Well, Luke, from a 17 format to 32 teams in a World Cup-style format, the global representation, significantly higher stakes, and today, even more visibility for Chelsea Football Club.
Great scenes for Chelsea, for the players and their fans. The celebrations will continue and much more to come here from MetLife Stadium. Stay with us.